Hey guys, so today we have a little guest, as you can see, and that is because this video is kind of about him. So today I want to talk about what pets can do for people with disabilities, chronic illnesses, and mental illnesses. I feel like there's a whole lot of benefits to having any kind of pet when you have a chronic illness, a mental illness, or a disability, and I want to talk about some of the things that Honey has done for me and some of the things that my past pets have done for me, and just in general why why I think that pets are like a great thing for people to have and why they're so healthy. So let's get into it. Okay, so as always, I have just a couple of disclaimers before we properly get into why I recommend pets. And the first one is to figure out what type of pet would work for both you and your lifestyle, and also for the pet and the pet's lifestyle. So for example, before Honey, I had a dog. And when my dog died, I decided that it wouldn't be good for me or the dog to have another dog. I just didn't feel like I could properly take care of a dog as a dog needs to be taken care of. So instead, I got Honey. He doesn't require nearly as much exercise. He doesn't require nearly as much, oh God, where's he going? He doesn't require nearly as much, I guess, physical attention. Like, he's just happy to sit with me while I do nothing. I don't have to walk him every day. I don't have to feed him at a certain time of day. I can just get him out and play with him and he'll be happy. So I got him instead of a dog, and I really just recommend researching a whole bunch of different pets that you think you might enjoy owning and seeing which one fits in with your lifestyle and your illness or disability. I really recommend rodents. I think a lot of rodents are quite easy to care for, but do give you that affection and sort of stimulation that bigger pets would give. Oh my God, buddy, what are you doing? Come on, man. Come on. Listen, let's just chill out, shall we? But really, I think that any pet, from a goldfish all the way up to like a dog or a cat, depending on your physical limitations, are just fantastic to have around. So let me explain why. So the first thing that pets provide is pretty obvious, and that's socialization and companionship. I've talked about this before on this channel, but when you're disabled, chronically ill, or mentally ill, often you can lose a lot of people that you used to communicate with daily, whether that's friends or family or whatever. You can't go out and talk to people. Often people won't come and talk to you. Sometimes you're staying in hospital. All sorts of reasons why you may lose out on the socialization that humans so desperately crave. So pets are great for this, and of course I realize it's not quite the same as having a conversation with another human being, but it is something. A lot of pets will respond to your voice once they get to know you. A lot of pets will enjoy sitting with you and just being with you, and that's just a really nice feeling to have another living being just with you and around you, when often that's what we miss out on. Isolation, I think, is a really under-talked about reason for decline in mental health and physical health. There's a whole lot of studies about social activity and declining mental and physical health, especially in people with chronic and mental illnesses. And I just think it's really important to try and mitigate that loneliness and that isolation as much as possible. Obviously, like I said at the start, it doesn't replace having human interaction, which you should still try to seek out. But when you just can't get out of bed or can't have that human interaction for whatever reason, it's nice to have something there that you can have a chat to and just chill with, you know? The second thing that I think is really great about pets is that they force some kind of routine. Another thing that I think is an underrated reason for steep decline and kind of spiraling in mental and physical health is the lack of ability to stick to any kind of routine. So you're probably not going to school every day, you're probably not going to work every day during flare-ups and bad times, and that can be really depressing and, again, very isolating. And I think this lack of routine and sort of lack of ability to stick to any one routine is really confusing and very demotivating. Like, it just makes you feel like you can't do anything and it's pointless to even try. So having something there that requires you to get up and feed it, get up and play with it, clean its cage or clean its like fish tank or whatever that is, having something there that forces you to have just this tiny bit of routine in your day, I think is really super helpful and makes your day a little more structured and a little more definite. At least you know one thing that's going to be happening that day, right? You might not know anything else, but you know that you're going to get up and you're going to feed your cat, and that's going to be that. You're going to get up, you're going to play with your cat for a while. That's two things that are definitely going to happen in your day. And often when you have a chronic illness, especially a changeable one or a mental illness that's changeable, you have no idea what the rest of your day might hold. But just having those two certainties is something. It's something you can hold on to. It's something real. And you have another living being relying on you to do those things. So you can't just kind of opt out, or it's much easier to ignore our own needs when we're in like this bad place and this sort of spiraling depression of no routine. It's much easier to say, I'm not going to make myself food. I don't need it. I'll just stay in bed. But it's much harder to do that when it's another living thing, at least for me, and I suspect for other people as well. It also helps that if you are one of those people who tends to neglect your own needs during a bad episode, I think that having a pet that you need to feed is, for me, I tend to like make my own food at the same time, just because I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably eat. That makes sense, right? So I think having any kind of set routine that's very definite will help you to keep to other routines, like taking medications, like having food, like getting out of bed. Like, I think any kind of structured routine that you have in your day will help you stick to other structured routines as well. And I think that's really healthy, even though often we can't do a lot. I think it's important to try and do like one or two things, just to keep feeling like a human and keep feeling motivated to get things done and like we can do things. Another thing that pets give us is a potential topic of conversation that isn't about us or our illness. I know as someone with an ongoing illness, it's really difficult sometimes and really exhausting to talk to people who are just always asking, oh, are you better yet? Like, how's it going? Like, what's happening now? And I know it's all very well meant, but it's exhausting enough living it, let alone talking about it 50 times a day to 50 different people. So I think that having a pet, just a lot of people will look at them, a lot of people will want to talk about them, people will ask questions about them, and I think it makes a really nice change just to have some built-in topic of conversation. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to like pull things out of thin air, which I don't know about you, but I'm terrible at keeping conversation going when I don't have like a specific thing to say. So I think that where are you going? I think that just having something else to talk about, anything else, and everyone loves animals, right? Or at least like every nice person loves animals. Look at him clean. Oh my god, he's so cute. I think it's just really great to have something to talk about with people that isn't related to your illness. So yeah, a nice safe topic of conversation should you need one. He's trying to get behind the curtain again. Come on. He loves it behind there, but then you guys can't see him on the camera, so. Come on, bud. Stay. Look at all the nice people. You want to stay. Come on. This video's alternate title is Evie's rat trying to escape from her for 10 minutes straight. Anyway, an alternate topic of conversation should you need one, just built in right there for you to take advantage of whenever you like. And that is super helpful for me when people come to visit, because I'm like, thank God, please ask questions about the rat. That's great. This next thing is kind of related to the first thing, and that is unconditional love. So like I talked about before, and like I've mentioned quite a few times, when you become disabled or sick, often you lose a lot of people who you love and people around you, just by the isolating nature of illnesses and disabilities. Having something there that loves you unconditionally, whether you're really sore, whether you can't get out of bed, whatever's happening in your day, your pet is going to love you and want to be around you and just want that companionship. He's going under the towel. Are you? Yeah, you are. There you go. And that's a really great feeling, and something that when you lose it, it's pretty devastating to lose the feeling that other people and other living things love you. So I think having that, even from a pet, although the same as I said in the communication part, obviously it doesn't replace a human, but it does feel good and it does help to fill some of those gaps that are left by other people leaving. So I know that for me, my dog, I initially got my dog when I first got diagnosed with arthritis at 12, and he was just, I don't know where I would be without that dog. He was everything to me. I didn't have friends for a lot of his life. A lot of people left. I didn't have very much family around, and he was just everything. I loved him so much, and just having him around, like knowing that he cared about me. This sounds so tragic, but hey, it was kind of tragic. Listen, it was a rough time. Having him around and knowing that he wanted to be around me and he wanted me around, like when no one else did, that was probably a literal lifesaver. And I think it could absolutely be that way for other disabled and ill people as well. I've heard a lot of people really rely heavily on their pets for that feeling of love and for that feeling of being needed. So yeah, I think that's a really great reason to get a pet, and honestly, I have no bless you, darling, bless you. I have no regrets about any of my pets. I just am so happy that I had all of them in my life, and so grateful for what they've done for me. And the fifth and final reason to get a pet is as a distraction from pain. Whether that pain is mental or physical, having something to take your mind off it even for a couple of seconds is just such a relief. I'm sure any of you watching with a chronic illness or mental illness will understand completely what I mean when I say that it takes up all of your brain space. Like, it just takes up all of your time thinking about it and worrying about it and just feeling awful, and you're just so exhausted of thinking about it. Seeing your pet do something cute or funny, or like even just like getting their food ready and feeding them as a distraction is such a relief and such an important thing to give yourself, like those mini breaks. I know you can't give yourself a proper break from it, but you can give yourself like these tiny, he's gonna try it again, these tiny little breaks just with things that you enjoy and things that you love. Don't you do it, baby, don't you do it. And that is invaluable, I think, to people who are constantly or pretty much constantly in pain and distress. It's invaluable to have something around that can give you just that little bit of relief, those moments of respite. So there you have it. Those are my 5 best reasons for getting a pet as a disabled or chronically ill or mentally ill person. I really hope that I have made you think about potentially looking into getting a pet if you're able to, or if you're the caregiver or carer for someone disabled. I hope that you think about this as well. Even if it's only like a temporary pet, like getting a dog, like borrowing a dog from a friend for like a couple of hours every week or something. I really do think that there's such an underutilized and valuable resource in the lives of people who often can't get very much companionship and often feel quite alone. I just think that I think they bring so much joy and so much happiness into my life, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you've enjoyed the clips of Honey and him being sporadically in this video when he feels like it. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you have any stories about your pets and what they've done for you, let me know. I love hearing about other people's pets. And apart from that, I will catch you in the next video.